So in this video, I'm going to show you how IT departments can save 50% of their telecom budget using a frictionless, done-for-you process. You can save 50% without changing vendors, taking on a new project, or wasting precious time, re-engineering your processes, waiting for contracts to expire, getting lower quality of service, increasing CapEx or upfront investment, burdening your team, making painful choices. So to what extent does spending on legacy IT solutions shift IT funding away from innovation? IT executives tell us that they're under contract, spending a lot on telecom voice and data, but despite the reduction in costs for telecommunications services, a significant amount of money is still being allocated to telecom. There are multiple long, complex bills for large numbers of different telco services. There's no visibility into how the billed services serve business needs. With multiple invoice PDFs to review every month, no one can really explain what's in all the bills, or if all the charges are fair, or too high, or even necessary. The carriers forget to tell you about billing errors, unused services, services they forgot to disconnect, and services other people are paying less for, often a lot less than you. Account reps who are useless, but magically available to sign a 3-year renewal or longer and re-up their commission check. No one has time to figure out exactly how the carriers are padding the bills and where exactly all the money is going. It's impossible to know how much money is wasted, but spending more time on telecom billing is a distraction from IT's mission. Significant budget dollars are spent on legacy services instead of new initiatives or helping the bottom line. If any of this sounds familiar or concerning, here's the exact strategy you can use to slash telecom costs by up to 50%. Organizations with 100 to 10,000 employees in multiple locations typically spend $100,000 to $10 million annually. Sometimes leaders are not aware of the size of the telecom budget and how big a 50% savings is. Let's focus on what saved money and made life easier for other firms your size. Solutions for managing telecom spending equal saving money and funding innovation. The old way people manage telecom costs involves looking at PDFs of your monthly voice and data bills or viewing online invoices. Data is siloed across multiple different bills and PDFs or multiple different web portals. Accounting systems contain bill totals, but there is no granular data or detail. This is typically what we see when we look inside someone's ERP system. Bills are generally approved and only obvious cost increases are detected. So in this example, we see that in month 1, bill B was $1,000, and in month 2, it's gone up by $100 in total, so that's going to get flagged. There's no consistent process to ensure vendors fix billing issues. IT is aware of the key telecom services they manage, but don't have visibility into the bill costs. So usually the IT department will have a list of services as seen here, but they won't be managing the cost of each individual service. And no one really has granular visibility into costs in telecom bills. So there's no real connection between what the individual costs of the services and then the total bills. The connections are not made. The result is no one can easily justify why a bill costs as much as it does. Nothing is measured, and therefore nothing is managed, except for the top line total cost of the bills. The result: companies pay bills that contain billing errors, charges for unused services, charges for above market rates, and typically 50% waste once they hit that $100,000 a year mark. So in this example, we see how Previously, there were 3 services that IT was aware of, but now this service Z has appeared now that we have granular visibility. And we now, with visibility where everything's joined together, we see that we have opportunities to renegotiate certain costs to market rate, and we have an unused service which can be removed. Now, this is a very simplified example, but we see stuff like this all the time, and we'd be happy to send you some case studies. IT can track service uptime against the SLA. IT doesn't have an effective way to track individual costs against the contract and ensure the bill matches the services that they need. The result, after a new contract is signed, no one has a way to consistently ensure the bill is consistent with the new contract, unnecessary services are really removed from the bill, new rates are taken advantage of, and old charges and services are not grandfathered in. The pros of this approach: it works for simple spends with just a few services. It allows employees to stay focused on IT and the business. The con is firms with over 100 employees and multiple locations typically spend about 50% of their landline voice and data budget on unnecessary expenses. One alternative is software and BPO solutions. You can invest in a software solution or use temp firms which outsource the work to India. AI solutions are coming, but still require hands-on management and good data, and they still hallucinate. Pros of software and temp BPO are visibility, reduced billing errors, reduced costs of processing bills. The cons: this fixes billing errors that are only 10% of the problem. It does not address that 45% of the budget is typically wasted on unused or overpriced services. It misses 90% of the savings. Software vendors typically don't have skilled people who can optimize your telecom services, identify and remove unused services, negotiate better pricing, take advantage of all available deals and discounts. So what solution does drive 50% savings? You can permanently save 50% of your $100,000 or $1 million plus budget for voice and data services and spend that money more profitably. The solution is have experts who understand IT in the telecom industry. Have them analyze your vendor billing data, uncover hidden vendor cost savings, implement those savings, all the while maintaining or increasing service levels and keeping your favorite vendors. All you need to do is get experts to get visibility into the details of your telecom spending to manage spending by creating an inventory, for example. To clarify, build an inventory using vendor data from the billing portal plus the PDF invoices. Identify everything you're buying, what it's for, what it costs, etc. Clients typically need 16 plus data points for every service in the inventory. Consistently review every single service in your completed inventory and find and remove billing errors, align services with business needs, find and eliminate unused services, right-size underutilized ones, identify services with above market rates, and align services with market pricing and discounts, deals, etc. The result: save 50% of $100,000 or $1 million or more IT budget for voice and data telecom services. The pros are someone else does the work. Save about 50% first baseline. Service levels don't change. Vendors don't have to change. So that's all there is to it. There are several ways to achieve this result. Alternative 1, you could do it yourself internally. You and your team could spend the time researching and executing cost savings and learn the skills to do this yourself. Assigning one of your top people to spend 10 hours a week for a year would find substantial savings. Books like Principles of Telecom Expense Management will teach them step by step exactly what to do. The pros are you'll save money eventually and you won't have to bring in outside help. The cons: this takes a lot of effort and time to figure it out. Most organizations don't have more time to spend researching telecom costs, which is why costs are the way they are. Most firms need to stay focused on keeping IT infrastructure and the company running. Frankly, we find that qualified employees, understandably, have other priorities than intense cost management, especially telecom. Therefore, costs won't be deeply managed consistently, and hidden savings will go unsaved year after year. Another drawback of this alternative limits your potential savings. You need better pricing, and to get the best pricing, you need inside industry knowledge and connections. Most companies don't have anyone on staff who knows which telecom products are overpriced and therefore can be negotiated down, and which services are low-margin services that your vendor barely turns a profit on, and therefore you can't really negotiate the price on. For almost all firms, it's in practice impossible to minimize telecom spending with your own staff alone. You'll need industry experts who have recently negotiated dozens or hundreds of deals and know how to get the best rates. Alternative 2, TEM software or BPO solutions. The pros: assistance managing bills and processing them, managing billing errors, and reduced workload. The cons: most firms will miss out on 90% of the savings, won't find and eliminate unused services, or implement better pricing. Software and BPO TEM vendors don't have skilled staff to find and implement these savings for you, so you have to do all the work yourself anyway. Alternative number 3, Berlin Pacific. Let us do everything for you. Typically, you will save 50% of your telecom budget. You can augment what you're already doing today to manage telecom spending. Leverage our team of experts who have the skills, the experience, and the connections to find and implement hidden cost savings for your firm. Leverage a proven process that audits your bills, analyzes your usage, negotiates with your vendor, optimizes your services, and implements the savings for you. Leverage a track record of delivering results that exceed expectations. You're guaranteed that you'll pay nothing unless we save you money. Get everything done for you so you can save money and stay focused and have more to invest in the business. So this could be you saying, this is awesome, and getting emails showing you saving over $1 million over the next 4 years, and just on part of your budget. And typically, you will save 50% of your telecom budget, especially if you're spending $100,000 or more, or millions of dollars a year. You can expect to save around 50% of your telecom budget and get these savings locked in for many years to come. So what are the next steps? If you're spending a lot of money on telecom, voice and data services, landline or wireless, and you'd like to stop losing money every month, and you'd like to save 50% of your budget without having to do all the additional work or switch vendors, and you'd like better quality from your vendors, and you'd like to know how much you can save, or see if there are ways you can improve, please reach out via email at sales@berlinpacific.com or on LinkedIn. Look up Anders Mikkelsen with Berlin Pacific. We'll review your situation at no charge and let you know if you're likely to qualify for substantial savings or suggest other solutions or good alternatives. Firms with multiple locations and 100 or more employees almost always qualify for substantial savings. When you qualify, we'll do an in-depth review at no charge and provide you with actionable cost savings proposals, and we'll implement for you the proposals that you approve, and savings will be tracked to completion, implemented for you, and documented. Please reach out to schedule a call via email at sales@berlinpacific.com or connect and direct message on LinkedIn with Anders Mikkelsen of Berlin Pacific. Thank you for your time. We look forward to talking to you.